the groups. Not everyone, but this is a lot of groups. It's, as I said, it's really nice to see you, not for this reason, but I am happy to see that you took the opportunity for the extra lecture, because I want you to learn and I want you to pass. It's not something that I always like to see with the tents and the things that are going on. But as I also said, the first research report that I've always seen in the first year, it's quite common that it's a very different language that you have to write in, it's stressful, and that you can sometimes make mistakes. And that's what we're here today, is to talk about the common mistakes. I'm going to give you a lecture because a lot of the things were over and over and over again in the reports. So I will talk to you again about the operational model, then I'll flip the board around and talk about what the paper should look like. You can ask some questions in general, and then I'll answer any individual questions you want, okay? Good. Oh, another thing is, for some reason, something's going on with grade work. So when you download that form, it doesn't always have your comments in there. I don't know what's going on. It hasn't happened before. The grade work gurus know about it, and I'm hoping that they can fix whatever it is. But look at your paper, because I always put comments in the left and in the right, so you can at least get the color boxes that we throw in there for you, okay? Most of the time. Okay, I'm going to start with the operational model that was on the board for the longest time, because what did we do? We decided that there was a main research question that we were going to look at, and as your group, then you said there are these sub-questions, right? And for your research, you each took a part of that one of the sub-questions. Maybe you took a sub-question about price, let's say, and split it into two people. But you each had your own individual research question, right? So you took maybe something like this that you did your analysis on, and all of the research questions you did individually in your group add up to answer this. So how the operational model worked is that you had your central question, your sub-questions, which were researched, because you had the research to say that this is really the problem, and this is the aspects that you want to address that problem. I put the APA under here for you, and it's just nothing more than saying these are the sources for here. Maybe Jones was for all three, it could be. But if you start getting into the habit of putting it under here, then it's easier to throw things in your paper, right? And from there, let's say like Susanna gave you the example of price. These are the aspects of price that you found in your research that were important. Let's say the price difference during the week, price difference during the seasons, things like this. And then that's how you work out to your survey questions. So your questionnaire questions are by the fact all supported by desk research. The general demographic research questions like age and gender, you can always find research that suggests the best way to ask those questions too, and what's important. I also want to say Susanna's recording me, because we're going to put it through YouTube and upload this so that you don't have to feel stressed to type everything. It's not going to be really beautiful footage, but it's something you can watch again in case you forget something that I'm saying today, okay?
My hand already went through the screen once, so.
Yeah, okay. But just listen, but just so you know, the footage will get it up through YouTube. So that means that your questionnaire is going to be based upon all desk research, right? Because all of your sub-questions are. So this is just, once again, what the operational model was. Let's get to the fun part. And that is your paper. One of the biggest reasons you get a 10, and you'll get a 10 if you aren't meeting the criteria, was the APA. And we're going to talk about that at the end, about what APA should look like. But what I want to do is take you on the journey from the first part of your paper until the end, and what it should look like, okay? So your problem description, what was it? Oh no. The problem description was nothing more than what's going on in your event. Why did you choose it, and what aspect did you want to research? So we had people who wanted to look at Gay Parade for the Gay Pride Day to see if there are going to be more people coming. We had some people who were looking to see for the Cannabis Festival if it was going to be able to continue. So we had all different problems, and then you said to say a positioning problem that you wanted to look into, right? So this was what you wanted to look at for your event. And then the next part in your paper, you had to talk about your research questions. One of the biggest things that I saw that was a mistake is people put their survey here. That's not your research question, that's your questionnaire. So your research question, you had a group question, and then you had your individual, right? So the group question was the big part. You broke it into the thing. So here you should say, our group question, so our research question is going to be about ABC, and my individual part is going to be looking at price and internationalization of whatever, right? So you define what your group is, what's your your individual aspect is, and that's all you have to do. But, once again, don't forget your friend, justification. When you're talking about what your question is, and it's perfectly fine, you made an operational model, but just put at the end of the sentence, that, with the period. Because you're doing sub-question 1, you say what it is. You can also have all of these in one big long line under this group question, right? Because all of these sources answer your central question. Yes?
Is it possible to have, as your individual question, a similar or maybe the same question as in your group work? As it could probably be that the group members were saying that your question was the best, and that's why they took it also from the
No.
group work?
We said that everyone had to take their own aspect from the central question. And then all of those, so all of you together, equal the central question. But it could be that 2 of you take price, but 1 takes price about internationalization, and 1 takes price about, let's say, gender. So that could be similar, that you both have something for price. Yeah.
I think you're confusing me more.
Why?
Because what do you mean individual aspects?
What everyone had to do when you did your research, everyone had to do their own research question where you analyzed your SPSS, right? So all you're doing is, let's say all of you had 120 surveys if you're in 4. And from those 120, you had to analyze your own aspect, yes?
This class should have happened before we had to.
But this was the whole time when we were discussing.
We told us that every single member of the group has to come up with those certain questions for the
Yeah, everyone. But these are survey questions. Everyone had to come up with their own survey questions and then from there you had your group, right? So the survey questions, you have 1 survey for the main question, your central question. But everyone analyzed their own aspect of that survey. So maybe you took 5 questions from the group survey, maybe you took 10 because you had a different part. But everyone had this, you all have the same survey.
We also called them sub-questions.
We called them sub-questions.
Okay, for example, in our group, happened this that some questions we divided into for 2 people. For example, me and her, we had the same questions.
to analyze
To analyze.
from SPSS.
Yeah, but it could be that you have to have similar, let's say I have to have gender and price from the survey, but I have to have other things with it because I'm answering a different part of the central question. But you're not all answering the same question with the same SPSS files. SPSS analysis.
Yes, but because we are 5 people in the group, so we didn't have much things to divide. That's the reason why, for example, we have 3 questions and we took.
We said that one person could take, let's say one question was about price, and then one person could take the international aspect of price and the other could take, let's say, the gender aspect of price, but not the exact same question, the exact same analysis.
Yes, but the thing that you were telling.
Hang on 1 second.
That we were supposed to come up with questions for only ourselves.
No. Look, everyone, the whole group came up with your central question together, and you broke it into sub-questions. And then we said, we don't care how you divide it. You can take it per sub-question. You can give one person 2 sub-questions and another in 1 question. But everyone had to analyze a different question that leads back to your central question. And this was all the same for the group, but you took your part. And from there, so here you would say what your group question was and the sub-questions, and you could say I concentrated only on the price sub-question. And I used these, right? And then when you go to the methods, here is where you see in the evaluation form, they ask about the quality. So you say, these are the steps I took in my research. It's qualitative, we have a survey. We also made sure that we based everything on literature. And then you put some nice research resources after that, because there you're saying the steps I took in research, they're trying to ensure as much quality as possible, right? So in here you're talking about the quality of your research and the steps. And don't forget that that has to be justified by some type of book, a research book. There are plenty of them. We have a lot that we even suggest in the back of the handbook.